They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamarae. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. But how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, so come from earth we may be. But we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to rob brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down to make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult.
Bring home now, bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher, freedom, master teacher. Bring home now, bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher, freedom, master teacher.
There's a concentrated effort to stop us. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. Did they finish? They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring the master teacher, bring the freedom for the master, master teacher. For the master, bring the master teacher, bring the freedom for the master, master teacher, 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 freedom for the master. Teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult.
Bring home now, bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher, freedom, master teacher. Bring home now, bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher, freedom, master teacher.
There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamarack. He put his life on the line for us all, and for the truth the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time.
Baba Avatara Yanun, okay? Of many students from around the world that we teach this affirmation known as Wusabat Nwapu, our spiritual science. Just activating the camera. Oh, I need an activation. Okay, the camera's been activated now, but I hope you can hear my voice. Okay, we're gonna get into, all right, we're gonna get into our affirmation to start off and get the tones right before we start class. Just bear with me a sec. Can we play it from here?
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
This mouse is draggy, isn't it?
Yeah. Drag. Okay. Naut muklas badet yanun. Anuki jawefpa ashok empa paut. U kalel ashok kaun jawef neya. Anuki kasam empa paut. Wupa paut kawun kasam neya. Anuki wahu ame pa paut. Wupa paut kawun wahu ame neya. Nakuk kado naju ame kasam empa paut. Wu khabub ame mushkas Nakuk kador kawan kalel kafef nakuk aru jawef pa paut. Ame wase ame aradni kawun laye bakoy jawef pa paut. Anuki yabe biye nafashni pa paut kawun anuki.
About Jamal, I'm not sure if it's just me, but we cannot hear you.
Paut amun nakuk amun. Right. Okay, Wahoo, Moisar.
Can anyone else hear Lucia?
Can I be heard? Huawei. Okay. Right. This class today is, as stated earlier, is what
Can
is
anyone hear
your
me?
true name? Wunuwapu helps you to understand. Okay. Right. Without further ado, because a slight delay, as I said, my tone is Usia Ka'a Reye. Funny enough, I actually found out it's the sixth ruler in ancient Tamaray, in the one of the dynasties. Okay,
Brother, that's that. Can you hear me?
So can you good? Okay, yeah, I found out he's the sixth ruler actually of one of the dynasties in ancient Tamaray, which I thought, oh wow, look at that. And I was actually doing a totally different research and I came across it. So his literal name, Usir Ka'a Reye, of which I've taken the tone of, just popped up in one study book I was reading, an ancient Egyptian book I was reading. So in understanding that, I'm going to pose a question to the Moisar online, family members, etc. in class. When we were growing up, we had names, didn't we? We had very strange, funny names that women, men, families were giving their children. Can you name any of them? Yeah, like either nicknames or these. Like, I'll give you one. Let me start the ball rolling first and foremost. Yeah. So I'm out growing up. I was hearing names like Shaniqua, okay, and Tashika and Rayvon, and can you give me any others? Tyrone and anyone else? Any takers online? LaQuisha. There you go, LaQuisha. What else was there? For who? Rika. Okay, so these are tones. They are tones and they sound nice. You with me? They sound very nice. They're pleasant to the ears when you hear them. And then obviously now we make a big transition from those 90s now to names like what? We have Moon, we have Star, we have what else is there? Ocean. We have what else we have? Wave. Yeah, and even what's his name? I think anyone. Rita, you got one? You wanna give our input? Rita, you there?
Yes. Yes, Sky.
Sky, yeah. Come on, give me some more exotic ones. Some more exotic ones. Come on. I think the guy Elon Musk, what's he call his son? He's one of his children. I think it's like some kind of like strange mathematic equation. That's what
he calls him X.
What's that?
X. He
X.
calls him X. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've also heard 7.
Right. I mean, these are, as I said, they sound nice. They roll off the tongue nicely. Do you get what I'm saying? You can even get with it to a certain degree. But what does it actually really mean? How is those tones? Because what getting into the subject matter, what are we actually really saying? And now we're realizing that when we speak a name, it's an actual tone and a vibration and a frequency. You know, for those who may be aware, okay, yes, that's what it is. For those who are not aware and are hearing it for the first time, language, okay, or speech is actually a form of music, okay? And when you study music, music has notes, and those notes have frequencies behind them. And then you have half notes, and you go into like the different octaves of the notes. Do you get what I'm saying? So like one C note will only vibrate when you strike what is called a tuning fork. If you're familiar with the tuning fork at all, no, never heard of it, seen a tuning fork. Let's bring up a tuning fork. Can I share my screen? Let's share my screen and just wait a second. Rohbaz Amata. All right, so where's my Zoom screen so I can share my screen? Okay, that's better. All right, share screen. Let's go and do some research. Entire screen share. Okay. Let's go into here and let's type in tuning fork. You've probably seen it before, but you weren't aware of what it actually represented. Everyone seen this before? Can that be seen on the screen? Tuning fork. Yeah, you familiar with tuning fork now? Anybody else? Never seen it before? You never knew what tuning fork was? Okay, so essentially, these are used by healers. Okay, a lot of healers use tuning forks. No, we're not going to buy on eBay. Let's go to images a second. Let's go to images. Right. So you see here the tuning fork. So what it is with a tuning fork, like I said earlier before, a name, okay, is a vibration and a tone and a resonance. Okay. So when you strike a tuning fork, these are all tuned to different, if you can look closely at this one, you can see like they've got different hertz frequencies on them. Let's blow, can we blow it up? Let's see if we can blow that up. Ooh. Can you see that? Is it not visible? Maybe not. Yeah? Can you see that? Yeah? So you can see it says fund, delta, theta, alpha, beta. Yeah? So they're actually tuned to a certain frequency. You understand? And it can either be a C note, an A note, a D note, etc. So do you follow so far? Yeah? So far we know that notes or names or tones are frequencies. Okay, and these frequencies have different notes attached to them, assigned to them. So the C note with a tuning fork, as I was explaining, yeah, this one here has been tuned to the D frequency. These tuning forks, they're only, as you strike the C fork, it will only vibrate with the C note, no other note. Yeah. If you struck it on a keyboard, for instance, and the step up from a keyboard of a C note, let's just say it's 8 hertz. The next step up will be double that. So that'll be 16 hertz. Okay. The next step up to that will be etc. 32 and on. And these are known as octaves. Yeah. So from C to C to C to C, likewise with A to A to A, these are all octaves on the piano keyboard, the 88 key keyboard. All right. So how does that relate to your name? Well, your name is also tones, and they're made up, it's a frequency, which has notes. Because when you actually look at the word tone, if you just flip it around, it's an anagram of the word note. Yeah. So the note that you're hearing, you know, when you done something I'm going to use the positive. You've done something very well. Yeah. And your parents are proud of you. You notice that the frequency of their voice goes up. Yeah. Everybody's frequency, when you're happy, etc., is elated. Yeah. It goes up. If your parents are upset with you, the note tends to go down. Yeah. Or there's a vibration in your core of your being. Just what I'm saying, that you know when mom's vexed or dad's vexed and you're gonna get the whipping. Yeah, you know this. You understand? Just by those notes, those frequencies. So now back to what we were saying earlier before regarding our names that we've been given as we were growing up, hearing these Laquisha, Tanisha, Star, Moon, X. You know what I mean? Now you've got people who don't even ascribe by names. They just go by a brand or a label. Yeah. So now you've got that community, LGBT and others who just go by the they and the this and the, so you've got names that are just, or tones, should I say, correct myself, that are just now wayward and out there. So what am I leading up to? Well, when you're born, okay, in a culture, I was born in African culture, Ghanaian culture. When you're born in a culture, a child is born and given a tone, a name, all right? Why that child is given a name? Because that note, that frequency, it vibrates into the etheric realm, okay, into the spiritual realm. And it's assigned a frequency which links into all those. Remember I said to you before about the C note and the A note, etc. It only vibrates on that frequency. So that name that child receives has a tone and a frequency of vibration that links into the other same being, that etheric or spiritual aspect, whether it's relatives or ancestors, that has that same tone. Okay? So what's taking place is that the etheric you, the etheric being, okay, the true name that you're calling on, it will respond. It responds every time you call on them, or every time you call on that particular frequency, or the essence of you, it activates something. Because as you call on them, that's why we do the affirmations, for instance, is such importance, because we make an importance and emphasis on that, is that when you're calling on these deities or opening the way for them, okay, you're opening a gateway, because your body is a gateway to them by way of your chakras. Yeah, each chakra is like a doorway, and it has a vibrational tone and a frequency. Your melanin is a frequency and a vibration and a tone. So all of these things, it links into your etheric side, okay? The side that is known as quantum, called the quantum realm, or in religion, they call it the spiritual realm. Do you follow so far? Have I lost anybody? Yeah. What about those online? Am I on the right track? Are you following? Because we don't want to. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, we're all good. Wawe. Okay. Tua. So now I'm going to read from Patarak Ranan Kum, you all's name. As now that I've set the tone, okay. And from this, we're going to start with questions. But there's more reading. But I thought, I like to try to encapsulate things so that we don't stray too far off, and I don't lose people. So I'll just read from Ranan Kum, and then we can attach that with any questions that you may have. So that's a book. Patarak. Upstairs? I believe so, yeah. It's upstairs. It's called Patarak Ranan Kum. And it links with many other Pataraks, like the A wavelength. Also links in with like soul, spirit. There's a lot of links to this. But this particular one, it kind of like touches on to what I'm alluding to in this title of this class. Okay. So this is Ranan Kum, you all's name. All right. Can that be seen? Can you see that? Or should I blur it up a bit? Can I go up? It's going smaller, isn't it? Oh, maybe not that way. Let me just increase it here. Can I be seen? Because we have elders in here, and even my eyesight sometimes is not that great. So I hope that can be seen. Yeah.
Who's the elders?
Who's the elders? Me. I'm talking about myself. No, I'm talking about this great elder here who travels.
You said plural.
Yeah, plural. I'm an elder.
No, you're not.
Well, you might not think so, but I am an elder.
Because he's on the slim side.
Yeah, I'm on the slim side. Yeah, I'm always watching my figure. So, so lo Nawapians. Let's begin with this class, this study, this wonderful Wusabat. The revelations of the Nawapians Patarak the way. Ranan Kun, you all's name. Let me close this side. You often ask me, Lo Nawapin, my beloved children, jewels of my eyes. You often ask me, what is in a name? And teacher of righteousness and teacher of ontology.
Recording stopped.
Okay. Why we stopped?
Recording in progress.
Okay. I tell you, this technology, eh? Right. You often ask me what's in a name, and teacher of righteousness and teacher of ontology. Tahutwi. Sorry, before I continue, because of that little interference, can everyone still hear me? Can I be heard?
Yes.
All right, wait. Okay, Tahuta. And teacher of righteousness and teacher of ontology, Tahutwi. What does my own name mean to me? And teacher of Wu Nuwupu, Amun Nabab Re Achach Pata, Amun Nub Re Achpata. What is the relationship? Let me stand this side. What is the relationship to names, titles, attributes, and tones? And teacher of Nuwapu, Yanun. Does my Nuwapic name of our Salafu ancestors and or our Nataru overseers? 6, 7. So verse 7. If I'm given or take on their ancient name, title, or attribute relate to me now. Number 7, verse 7. Well, my beloved, I'll say this first to you. A name is made up of letters and vowels, which in actual fact is sound and tone. Okay? So, you know, like you've got the English, haven't you? You've got the English letters. Those are known as vowels. When you look at our script, Ms. Batia, you can see that there's mostly 3 root letters known in the English as consonants, okay? And they had a difficulty when they were trying to decipher our language of hieroglyphs, what they call the hieroglyphs, because they were missing the valuable ingredients, which is the vowels, okay, or what they refer to as vowels in the English language. So they were saying things like nitiru, for instance, yeah, and they'll say things like amen, because they didn't know the tones. And not even that they didn't know the tones, they didn't know what kind of impact those tones make or do to us as a people. Because what is taking place is that you cause a ripple effect when you call on somebody's name. Yeah, there's a natural ripple effect into the etheric realm. Okay? So I'll continue. Verse 8. And all sounds and tones vibrate. Verse 9. And vibrations manifest or materialize. Okay? So again, back to what we're saying, the chants, etc. These vibrations causes a materialization. All right? If you want to know how that happens, or you want to see an example of that taking place, if you go on Google, go on YouTube or wherever, you know, one of these channels, and type in a sonic plate. There's something called, what's the name of it? I think it's called a sonic plate. Okay, and this sonic plate, it will play a frequency, different types of frequencies, and there's like sand or some kind of material on the actual plate. But when the frequency is played, it actually forms geometric patterns. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if it played at a particular frequency, like they got 440 hertz and 432 hertz, which they refer to as the solfeggio or the love frequency, which is 528 hertz and above. Okay. These frequencies actually alter the molecules, okay, and actually alter the shape and geometric patterns of the material on this plate. So go and look that up and you actually see for yourself what's actually taking place when you're vocalizing, just what I'm saying, or manifesting and chanting. You're actually manifesting and materializing. So back to the names and your ancestors, etc. This is what's taking place. Each time we're doing it, and it gets stronger in the atmosphere and the vocal intention behind it, this is what's taking place. It's causing a manifestation. Is part of this is not insignificant, or why the sun's getting hotter, or it feels like it's hot. Which is what I'm saying, around the world. Why there's so much fires, etc. We're in a sun cycle, and the sun cycle also is bringing in tones and vibrations into the planet. So as we raise our vibration and in sync with the frequency of the sun, that also moves us through the what is known as the morphic field resonance, and also the dimensional shift that's taking place. So our bodies is becoming acclimatized and attuned to the actual Earth's changes as we do these chants and do these fasts, etc. Is actually raising our frequency to match that of the Earth's dimensional shift. Okay, so back to this, is just digressed a little bit. So music is tones or sounds and vibration. So one can record sound as music notes, tones, sounds, and scores. Verse 12. Also, a name is a score of music. This is the same for titles and attributes, and therefore vibrate, that is, move to and fro rapidly and continuously. Oscillate, quiver, vibrate, vibration, vibrator, vibratory, and vibrant. Sound is also recorded as color, and color is hue, tint, and complexion. So colors are also created by sound, tone, and vibration. So you know when you look on the electromagnetic spectrum and you see the visible light spectrum, the colors that they give you in the visible light spectrum is everyone knows the song in it: red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. I can see a rainbow. Yeah. So the rainbow colors, okay, are your visible light spectrum that your eyes can pick up. But the invisible light spectrum, all the way down to infrared and down to into the blackness, okay, infinity, these colors are not picked up by your senses, your physical senses, your eyes, etc. However, your energy centers can pick them up, okay? And these colors are also, if you were to find an instrument, okay, or instruments can pick up, because these colors have frequencies and these colors have vibration. So an instrument that is used correctly can actually pick up the very tone of the color. You with me? The very note of the color. And you'd be able to, then they've actually charted what colors and what frequency and what notes it correlates to. Does that make sense? Yeah, so all of these things you can actually research, and you can see for yourself that when we're dealing with a name, it's not just as simple as just me calling you John. Does that make sense? Okay. So colors are also created by sound, tone, and vibration. Sound is waves, that is motion. And the right sounds or waves can affect your emotions, as does the song or music you like. If fast and upbeat, it can make you happy and want to move or dance. If slow and downbeat, can make you sad and want to lay down. Both are affecting your emotions or energy in motion in your brain. So this is now going into chemistry, because as it affects your brain secretes certain hormones, yeah, or certain what they call serotonin, etc.
Hormones?
Yeah, no, it's not hormones. They're neuropeptides. They're like these. Yeah, they actually certain. I forgot the name for it. Like dopamine and other aspects like that. They're not hormones, but they have forgotten the actual name. If someone could look it up. So what's taking place is that emotions secrete certain neuron transmitters. Yeah, neurotransmitters. Okay, and these neurotransmitters, when they're secreted, affects how you interact with somebody. Okay, dopamine. In fact, let me just bring up dopamine is one of the. Let's just show you, because we like to see visual as well. Let's learn visually. So dopamine. Yeah, it's a critical neurotransmitter and hormone in the human body that acts as a chemical messenger, transmitting signals between nerve cells, often referred to as the feel-good, yeah, chemical. So anyone familiar with dopamine? Yeah. So even when you have a shower, yeah, you raise your dopamine level. Cold shower.
Never heard of it.
Okay, well, that's why we know up is here. You get to hear something you never heard before. So this feel-good chemical, okay, is secreted in your bloodstream. Okay, it's a neurotransmitter. Likewise with all the other different neurotransmitters. So if you type in neurotransmitter, we're learning here. Okay, neurotransmitters are the body's chemical messengers. They shuttle signals across a synapse from one neuron nerve cell to a target. Okay, here's an image of it. When it starts to load up. Okay. Actually, let's just want an image. Actually, in fact, let's just go here and let's go to images. And there you go. Right. Can that be seen? All right. So it's just neurotransmitters. Okay. So they carry messages from one nerve cell across a space to the next nerve, muscle, or gland cell. These messages help you move your limbs, feel sensations, keep your heart beating, and take in and respond to all information your body receives from other internal parts of your body. Just enlarge this slightly so that you can actually see. Okay, that's better. Just close that. All right, can that be seen? Mm-hmm. So these here, you can see the neurotransmitter in the circle, yeah? So they're tiny sacs of messages, literally chemical messages that are passing through very thin gaps in your brain. So relaying that to what we're studying. My Zoom. Okay, my screen. What's my screen like? All right. Motion, yeah. So this emotion in your brain. It says here, if fast and upbeat can make you happy. So now you can see where the dopamine's working. All right, because when you're happy, you're releasing dopamine. Right? When you're sad, you're releasing cortisol and other things that affect you, and you get sad and depressed and all these other things, or stressed out. Exactly. Yeah. So just to give you a kind of like a visual to understand that these tones, these vibrations are not just a thing that's taking place on a physiological, on a level where you can just, you're just feeling it, but knowing what's taking place in your body. Yeah. And what these things are doing as they're triggering these hormones to go off, these hormones are affecting glands. Okay. They're secreting to your glands of your body, and these glands perform certain functions in your body. So why we get stressed out is because certain glands then fail to stop working. yeah, or they overwork or overproduce too much hormones, and then you get an effect, you know, a physical ailment taking place. Yeah, so being mindful that is tones and vibration and frequencies that are actually affecting your brain's chemistry. Okay, hence when you're in an environment with people who are very aggressive or rowdy or into fighting, etc., and you know that's affecting you, it's time to kind of like leave the area because the energy is affecting you. Yeah, or if you're in an environment where people are happy and joyous and want to do certain things together, unity, etc., and you know that it's also affecting you because it's releasing hormones, which is harmony. If you look at the word hormone and harmony, there's phonetics in that and there's correlation. Okay, so this which affects your body as well as mood or state of mind and feeling. So verse 26, being moody or changing the mood, being gloomy or joyous, it all means movement or function, affecting the living by sounds, tones, notes, and beats, and how they're put together by a musician or come together by natural nature. Again, back to being consciously aware of what music we're listening to. Yeah, because again, that's what's taking place in your brain, okay, and which is affecting you physically. And the other aspect, which is the spiritual aspect too, or come together. So verse 30, such as water rushing against the shore can be relaxing. Verse 31, the breaths blowing, sorry, the breeze or breeze should be blowing the leaves also can be calming, or by natural nature making sounds which are music tones. Now, Nuwapians, with that overstood, let us think on this wise. A sound, a tone, or note. In music, you have octaves that are 8 tone notes, one after the other, as I stated earlier. If you move on a keyboard to the right, the sound or tone, it gets higher. Yeah, that's called pitch, right? If you move on a keyboard to the left, the sound or tone, it gets lower. Okay, these are the pitches. Each key on a keyboard, when touched, moves or beats, and the striking of a certain string gives you a sound or tone or note. So now you understand when somebody says they get on your nerves because they strike a chord. You see these terms that we use? Mm-hmm. When someone strikes a chord, what's a chord? Now you link it back to music because it's a tone. And so that chord in you is your sympathetic nervous system, because that's affected. Now that sympathetic nervous system, if it's agitated, okay, in the wrong chemistry, it then shoots that electrical signal to the brain, which the brain releases either dopamine or the other forms of neurotransmitters, which then triggers off. Are you beginning to see the constant pattern and the constant abuse that we're under where from around the environment, yeah, and our own immediate families and friends, etc. Yeah. Each key on the keyboard, when touched, moves or beats, and the striking of a certain string gives you a sound or tone or note. If you started at the middle of the keyboard at what's called middle C, next to it on the right is D, that is moving to the right. If you had moved from middle C to the left, is B, so it's B, C, D. Would you like to see the visual representation before we carry on? Would that help? Okay. So let's go. Me? I'm not that tuned. That's the maestro known as Saken. He's the talented one with the key, with the musical skills. I'm just learning. I'm just learning my keyboard and my guitar. But it's actually strongly encouraged by partner Babyanon. Oh.
Musical instruments, you mean?
Yes, to learn a musical instrument. So because what he has explained, and this will tie in with what we're teaching, is that where you're going as a being is a place that is sound. Yeah, you're going to a place that is sound and tones and frequencies. In a sense of this physical body, when you leave this physical body, when you make that transition and that transformation and you transmute, okay, the place that you left or you projected yourself into this realm, that realm is tones and vibration, is music. So he's encouraged us to learn a musical instrument so that we can be familiar with the tones and the vibration and the frequencies of the universe, because that's all it is. That's what the universe is made up of. And you are actually not you, we are a visible and physical manifestation of dark energy, all the tones and all the energies combined together in our original state, and then we incarnated into this realm. So that's what we are. So that's the reason why we are so affected by so many things, because we literally encapsulate everything. Yeah, is that understood? So can you see the keyboard? Yeah, so you see let me read it again, and then we can match the visual with the wording. I lost it. Where's it gone? Okay. Sorry. Here you go. Right. So you have middle C. Middle C. Can I be seen? Yeah. And then you have B, C, D. Yeah. B, C, D. To the left is B. Okay. You following? And B, C, D. So middle C, and to the left is B. So it's B, C, D. Each is a note. B, C, D. Yeah. Each is a note. And notice you have the sharps and the flats that's in between all of this as well. And each vibrates on its own sound, and is why they have different letters to represent them. So one octave or 8 notes is from one C note to the next C note. Let's bring it up. So you have C note here. You move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th one will be the next one. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th one. Yeah. So always 8, the octave. That makes sense. So when we're saying octave, our ancestors, we refer to them as the Pachamenu. They're the 8 water beings who were tones and vibrational beings who resided in the waters originally before they were pushed out onto the land and then evolved. Okay, so these 8 water beings were all about octaves and tones and vibrations. And even the parents of who we came from, the dolphin, uses frequencies and vibration, yeah, and tones, sonar to communicate. Okay, so it's all about the notes, but we get to how it all connects. I mean, we're connecting them bit by bit. So one octave or 8 notes is from one C note to the next C note, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. From C note to C note is 1 octave on a keyboard. So each name, title, attribute is made up of sounds or tones or notes. If a name is more than one part, such as Amun, you hear 2 notes, Ah and Mun. Now look at Tahuti, Har, Asar, Ashtat. I mean, these are like older tones, but if we're saying it now, it'll be Tahutwi, Hara, Asar, Ashtat, Satuk. That still stay the same. And the Baptat, Hatat. That's the full tone frequency name. Should I blow it up again, Zamalta, for you? Or can you see all right? Can everyone see that okay? Yeah. Bit more? Is that better? Let me just scroll across. Can I be seen? Yeah? Well, wait. All right. You see, by these are form of music, notes, even rhythm, rhyme, sounds, and beats that are all vibrating. Now, Nuwapian, pay close mind to this which I'm about to teach. Remember, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C are one octave. You notice that there are two letters for C, the first note and the eighth note. If you have lined up each of these notes, in this one octave, what's called a tuning fork, which we showed earlier, which is used to define each key or note. Then strike the first C note, and by that it begins to vibrate and make the sound C major. You find out that as it vibrates on C note, none of the other 6 notes, D, E, F, G, A, B, will vibrate with the C note. The vibration will pass all other C notes, so all other 6 notes, and only affect the 8th tuning fork. None other, only the one that is the same note as the C. Striking the C note will vibrate past the others and will only affect the other C notes on the one that would vibrate the same sound, tone, or note. If you have more than one octave set up, you would have more than 2 C notes, and each one would vibrate all together if you strike any one of them, yet bypass the other notes, with which each would do the same as C if you struck one of them. I'll pause there. Any questions?
Oh.
Robert Zamal.
We take the elder's question and then use Zamal. Tawata. Yes, elder.
You were saying in the beginning that because of a lack of consonants, people didn't know how to pronounce certain words or names.
Not people, the Europeans, when they're trying to decipher the hieroglyphs.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we knew them, but obviously those afterwards.
So what is there any difference between Amun and Amin and Osar?
Yeah, it's literally, it's just the sound changes, which means it changes the frequency.
All right. Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? So where the correct tone should be, that note is now removed, and they did that purposely when they shifted it from Amun to Amen to Amin. You see, because it gives rise to a different frequency, which gives rise to, remember, sound is a manifestation, a materialization of form. So when you're saying these different tones, what you're doing is you're actually bringing in a new form of energy into manifestation. Right. And this is what gives birth to 6 ether forces. Right. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they then thrive in the atmosphere and lock in, as we're gonna see in the yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You're talking 6 ether. Is that the same thing as saying the spell of the what's called Abrahamic religion?
Yeah, that's all part of it. The Abrahamic religions, because even in the schools that we went through, we were going through the Abrahamic religions, and we were taking on names like Isa, Abdullah, Muhammad, and all of these Abdullah this, and Miriam and stuff like that. Because as we were going through the schools, we were taking on those names, and as the masters always explained, this is not the be and end of it all. I'm walking you through these so that you'll be better equipped, you see what I'm saying? Right. And more protected, because now you know the difference, as opposed to somebody who just embraced it, hasn't bothered done the tutelage, the actual study. We studied the language, we studied the Quran, we studied the Torah, we knew the quotes, etc. So we couldn't be just bamboozled, with somebody saying, "Oh, you must believe." No, we say, "No, what quote does it say?" And this, so this was all part of him bringing us to a stage where we could break the spell. And in breaking the spell, we were reintroduced bit by bit to our names. So as you can see, even the names of the master teacher, it transformed every stage of schooling that we went through to the point where now we're under, the school of Baba Avatar of Yanun. You know what I'm saying? And the Atum Ray, etc. These beings are now stepping forward because these are our true link to our ancestors, and know those 6 ether forces that we were under when we were in the school of religion. Yes, my sister.
Does Amun and Ashe mean the same thing?
Ashe is more of a Nigerian, yeah. I've forgotten the meaning. I actually looked it up. I've forgotten the actual meaning.
I know it means like the ending of a prayer or so.
Right, yeah. But
I'm not sure which tribe it is.
Yeah, it's just come about, isn't it? Yoruba thing, Yoruba. Yeah. So the when we're talking about Amun is not just the ending of a prayer. Amun is a being that was really heavily involved in the hidden mysteries. He's like a being that works in the darkness, just what I'm saying, and makes things happen and manifest. Does that make sense? Yeah, so Amun Nabab Reye Akhaf Patah, for instance, will be one of the titles of the master teacher. So it breaks down to mean faithful informer, soul of the Patahites. Yeah, Amun Nabab. Yeah, and Nabab is a master. Okay, so that this master is a being that is responsible for many of the mysteries, the hidden mysteries in the dark that will manifest in the light. So he works from the darkness. Okay. But when Christians got hold of it, or religion got hold of it, they just refer to it as "so it be" at the ending of a prayer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they've just lost the true meaning. But the hidden deity is still there, because when you look in Revelations, it's been how our ancestors have done it. They've managed to keep that name within the actual revelation in Revelation 3:14. Yeah, the Amun, the faithful, the true witness, the witness of the creation of God. Because this particular being witnessed all the things that are happening now in the light. Okay.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, Zamalta.
When you say Amun is the hidden, a question came to mind was, is that somehow connected to the mind? Because the mind is hidden. I can't see my mind.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all there's a correlation. Yeah, there's definitely a correlation. That's right. Yes, brother.
I think you might have a question there, but I'll take it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. I'm so sorry. I get really involved in everybody. My brother, you had a question?
Robert Zamal, Robert Musa.
Robert.
Yeah. I have a question.
Actually, you are breaking up slightly, Zamal.
I prepared the question.
Okay. No, you've got.
So I would like to know what is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can be heard loud and clear now, Zamal.
Okay. I was saying that I actually prepared the question before the class, and it's regarding dopamine. So I would like to know what are in our culture in terms of brain health medicine. I know that at the shop Nashat has a lot of solutions or seeds, roots, and vitamins, but I would like to know where can I get more information or training on how to feed our brain properly according to what is available right now, either to shop or through a scroll on which I can dive into this topic in order to have more of a standing.
In relation to the nutritional aspect or the physiological aspect of training and exercising, is that what you're asking about? Or because nutrition wise, we the master teacher has always said he would never write a book on nutrition because people are always going to ask, what about this? Can I eat that? What about this? You see what I'm saying? And is this
Okay.
yeah, so he will have to know you by touch, whether through your spiritual experiences with him or by touch in the sense of when he's physically in your presence, he'll be able to touch you and know what foods are good for you, because there's people people who are we've got so many different varieties of DNA in us. You have to know which type of foods to eat. Also, one thing he did say is study your blood chemistry. Yeah, study the blood chemistry, because in studying the blood chemistry and what elements is composed of, you'll be able to find out what foods have those particular elements. And that goes into the healing aspect, because you're replacing and enhancing or rejuvenating the cells of the body. Just what I'm saying, down to the molecular level or the DNA level. Were you gonna ask your questions? Okay. So yeah, it's but the books to get, there's an old Science of Healing is one book that comes to mind, which is a very old publication, but it goes actually into like the types of food, fruits and medicines. The Guide to Better Living is another one. These are two older scrolls under the Supreme Mathematic titles that the master released. Then there's Health and Relaxation, and there's one called there's one called Relaxation, and I think it's Meditation. Yeah, Meditation and Relaxation. Those are two pataraks. You also have the 33 Commandments to the Sabians. And in there, he actually goes into not eating the meats, you know, certain animals that you shouldn't keep in your house, because that also affects your actual mental and physical body as well. So yeah, the 33 Commandments of the Sabians, and also the breath book. The breath book also goes into a lot about the breathing aspect and what exercises you can actually do to enhance the cells and rejuvenate the cells of your body. So that's also the other publications that you can get. Yeah, so that's more than enough, really and truly, Zamal, to start you on your journey. And then what tends to take place is, as your mental awareness starts to grow and you're on the frequency and vibration of Panataru or natural nature, what natural nature tends to do is that you get insightful direction as to what types of foods you should purchase or go for, stop what you should stop eating, etc. Natural nature just because what it starts, your etheric being, the etheric body, it starts to wake up. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And with that, sorry?
Correct, makes sense, correct.
Yeah. And then your etheric being will tap into the vault of the mental reservoir, because that's what your etheric being, it has the keys to these vaults, okay, in the mental reservoir, coupled with the reality that you have ancestors, many ancestors, okay? This ties in with our black magic powers. We have many ancestors, good or bad, but there are many who are waiting and prepared once you open the way, and they will guide you what to eat, how to do this, what not to do, as long as you listen for them and you allow them to work through you. Yeah. Yes,
well noted, Zamal. Appreciate love.
Antak Akira for Zamal. We'll have this question and just go jump back into the class, yeah?
Yeah, it's funny that
big brother, yeah, I need some of them muscles.
No, it's funny that he asked the question before me.
Okay.
I had a question I was going to ask.
Right.
I've been going through the affirmations that we do earlier.
Okay.
So when I'm at home, so I do if I go to that.
Sure.
But what I noticed was, because I'm not reading the English part, well, I read both of them, but I noticed I'm learning it how to pronounce it faster.
Okay.
So I'm thinking to myself, is it my natural self? Because language is hard for me to learn.
Okay.
But I noticed this one was coming. and it's only been 2 weeks or 3.
True.
So adding to what he's saying, I feel like because I'm speaking the language, it's having an effect
most definitely
on my health.
Most definitely.
So if that's one of the things he can add, which is the affirmation.
Thank you very much for your input. I'm glad you brought that up because, again, we will get into the. Don't worry, we're not digressing from the topic, but it's when we're reading that and what you just touched on is that 6 ether forces, the language that we're conveying with each other is a 6 ether language. Yeah, so we're all aware of this. And what it's doing is, as we read, language or tones trigger hormones. Yeah? So if these hormones, we're utilizing sound right reasoning, these hormones are being triggered and secreted. What hormones are being secreted? What are they, what effect are they having on us as Nagaru, as of African, people? It's totally having an adverse effect on us, the language and the tones. So
I feel like it's easier. It feels more natural.
That's right.
Within a short period of time.
That's brilliant, because what's actually happening is recalibrating you.
Yeah.
It's a recalibration, this language. And it's been tweaked in a way where you're constantly moving away from the English tones. Because prior to Miss Batia, the language that we are now, the tones, we had Nuwapik. And Nuwapik, we had, for instance, the word for that, the master explained, was dik. Okay? And then now it's pafef. So what's happening is that you're slowly making a transition back into the real tones. And in doing that, you're forgetting the English. Slowly is being put to bed. And you're thinking, exactly, now you're not thinking in your own true language. So your thoughts now are being produced on a mental frequency of non-ether, which is causing a manifestation of reality, your reality, not his reality. Okay, so does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. Well, wait.
The part where you said you people had to train to like be a Muslim, Muslim,
yeah.
It must have been very difficult to deal with that.
Ask the brother right there. he was an answer.
It's like you have to sacrifice.
You had to, man.
Do we need to go through that as well? Because you now have all the books.
To some degree, because although we can have information overload because we have access to so much information. Prior to like the 80s and 90s, you had to go to the library, log on to AOL.com, if you remember those ones. Yeah, and then get the information, and just I'm saying. But now we have so much technology available to us. We're actually spoiled for choice.
And the books we already have.
Yeah, well, I mean, the books.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, the books are right. So now, the toughest test is that it's no longer a religious notion or religious connotation hanging over you, because now you realize you are your own God. And that's the biggest test, because now you can say, you know what, chat, I don't have to chant this morning. I'm good, You know what I mean? I don't have to do this because there's no God. I'm not going to go to heaven or hell because there's no God. I'm not going to burn. So to some degree, the test is, as the master explained, you have to now you are like that rough ashlar, rough stone. You have to literally perfect your being. But you
don't have to go back.
That's right. It's the helping hand that's at the end of your own arm. You are your own God. So it depends on what level you want to reach as a deity, or you can remain as an animal.
Do we have to go back like you guys went back? That's the question.
We don't have to go back in the sense of the religious aspect, but in the sense of the pristine aspect, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. That's what's happening. We are reached. Yeah. You understand?
We have to go to Christianity.
No. It's funny you say that, because the Nuwapian Islamic Hebrews is the new title that we've acquired. And it's not because we're religious and we're going to go back into, praying 5 times a day, etc. like that. What it is that Panabab Yanun is an inquirer. He's a recorder. He incarnated to record the transformation of these beings. And when he was teaching this, a lot of people went away thinking that the school that they were in was the end of it. So he has to kind of like circle back around, you see what I'm saying? And to show that the mission's still here, the journey's still here. But you have to jump. A lot of people jumped off, you know, when you're on a journey on a bus, yeah, you go off the wrong stop.
Yeah.
A lot of people go off the wrong stop because they thought that, oh, why does he keep changing so much? Because they never trusted the vision. They never trusted because if you're saying you're with this being gives you an example in a Patarak called Tahutimos and Tahuti. Tahutimos was a student of Tahuti, okay? And Tahuti said this to him: if you want to be my student, I'm going to do certain things that is not going to be like in the light. You're not going to feel comfortable what I do, but you have to follow it through. You have to trust what I'm doing and why I'm doing them. Yeah? Yeah, I'm good. You know, I'll follow you till you're the man. Yeah? Then it gets to a point where it becomes too hard or challenging. Then people stop off, get off the stop. Because they think that they know what the being's about. So in essence, study more, apply more, transform yourself more, and this being will make sense to you eventually.
I think I've had that experience.
Okay.
Because of my condition, I can't read.
Okay.
So I have to change everything to audio.
Well, where?
But I'm doing it through a system.
Okay.
And it's starting to bring up warnings.
Okay.
That the content I'm presenting is aggravating child abuse, all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, do they not like the content that I'm putting through there? Because all the content is here, but I need to change it to audio. So it's like they're trying to scare me.
Right.
I refuse to respond.
Yeah.
Now they're writing me, continue reading, because they didn't get me. They wanted me to give my information in. And I realized this is not an attack. They're trying to stop me from reading. So I can see the potency.
Yeah.
Of what I'm reading.
Yeah. This is real potent. It's real. I mean, it's real. It's real. You know. So let me just jump back into. Are there any last questions before? Okay. Let me jump back into the class. So let's reset the room. Patarak Ranankum, you all's names. The title for today is known as "What is your true name?" Wunuwapu helps you to understand. Verse 61. When two or more keys or notes or tones which are the same are struck and they begin to vibrate together, that is called unison. They are all linked. Sorry, can't see the screen, can you? Let me move this side. Sorry, beg your pardon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Right. So they are all linked to each other because they vibrate on the same wavelength. That is how sound works. Music, singing, talking, crying, laughing, screaming, praying, and chanting. And know this, Nuwapians, all things, everything vibrates. Okay. Verse 66. Your body is vibrating right now. The tone of your own voice is a note. You can raise it or lower it. Yet you have a natural tone of your own. And when you are speaking, your body still vibrates and makes its own sound or tone. Can I ask anyone this? Those who are chanting, and don't feel bad if you're not chanting, it's not a judgmental call here. When you're chanting, do you feel a vibration in your skull or your teeth or any part of your body when you're chanting? In your chest. Anybody else?
I just
my throat.
Your throat. Okay. So it's happening to people. Do you know what I'm saying? So as you chant more and more, and you're doing all of these different things, your vibrational rate, it starts to change, and you start noticing it. Do you know what I mean? You're on the FAC, the notes that our natural nature tones. It will start being activated in you. Okay, from the more you're doing these things. Yet you have a natural tone. And when you're speaking, your body still vibrates and makes it sound or tone. Singers learn how to blend with music to make pleasing sounds as songs, or evil can do the opposite. Sound can make you sick. Sound can make you sad. Sound can make you die. Sound gets inside your being and body to your spirit, mind, and soul. Notice how he's highlighted that in bold. Yeah? Spirit, mind, and soul. When many people come together on the same sound called singing, chanting, praying, or yelling, it can affect physical and or material things. These show the power of sound with emotions. If you are named after someone in your own DNA family, it's like being on the same note. Now, Nuwapians, know this is the reason why your ancients had so many names, titles, and attributes, so that they can change their own vibrational levels, as why I gave you all so many name changes over the many schools. Verse 81. Also, you notice that your ancient Egyptian ancestors shortened names, such as not using vowels or doubling letter. So I'll give you an example. MRY would be Marie, yeah, or Hatset, what they refer to as what's her name again?
Queen, the Hatshepsut?
Yeah, Hatshepsut. Yeah, Hatshepsut, for instance, will be Hatat Sha'ab Satak. You see, that'll be her full name, but it's shortened to protect the names. Okay. And he gives you again from Nabab to Neb, or Nab to from NB or SKR to Sakar, or symbols, no vowel sounds. So invaders would never know how to pronounce one's true name. You see, Greek spellings, Tahutwi became Tahuti, Tahoitwi, shortened Tut and Thoth. All was done to protect the Etherean being, and this ties into the topic of the class, your E3 being. That's the part that these 6 ether forces want to control. Because if they know your E3 being, they have control over you. Does that make sense? They had birth names, given names, slang names, or shortened titles, attributes, throne names, and other physical life names. Each is a tone, sound, and vibration. So to protect your true self, think of the names you keep. Some of you keep your English name. Think of each time you are called by it. All the spirit beings, dead or alive, turn in your direction, or in the direction of that sound. Verse 90. Because, like the C note, you are all C notes. If you keep Arabic names and you're not an Arab, when someone calls you or speaks your name to you, Karim, Jamila, Fatima, Hassan, Muhammad, etc., these are their tones. Muhammad. Verse 93. You are not Arab by nature. You converted to Arabs or Arabia religion who worship their own Allah. Verse 94. All the Muhammads who are Arabs by spirit force, you link yourself to them, both evil and good ones. Most are evil. Yet they can't help you because your DNA is not the same as theirs, be they Hindu, Hebrew, Sumerian. Ooh, it's got a bit big. Sorry about this. Oh, what am I doing? Sumerian, Indian, English, Yoruba, or others. You bring their spirits at you. Can they hurt you? Yes. And spirit forces from the dead world can enter your body if you open up to them by a tone or belief. Verse 98. Can you hurt? They can hurt you because no good spirit force has need of your body. It's only the evil ones who are trapped and want to use your body, hurt you, even cause you to kill. It's all because of sound and tones in names. Now, to your often asked question, when you take the name or attribute of the ancient Nataru overseers such as Geb, Natat, Niet, Hathar, Anfu, Satuk, Asar, Ashashtat, Nababtat Hatat, Khansu, Zahutwi, or Remus, do you link to them? And must you act like them or live up to their name? First of all, know these are attributes of their physical actions while they lived, however, not their sacred names. So no, I have to give the chosen ones their tones, or in the next life, they will not be called or able to shawub, answer. So don't think because you have a name, you have to be that person, or you can contact that person in the next world. They don't go by that living name. So they can oversee, look over you, watch you, guide you right. Yet when you call their names for help, they can help you if it's true, pure thoughts. Yet only if it's to help help other than yourself, for that you have your own ancestor relatives. And that concludes that reading. Any questions?
Yes. Just trying to get along with this business of the spell. How was it possible to make the spell? I mean,
how was it possible to make the spell?
I mean, what was the conditions necessary to make the spell and so that it would be over the Nagaru?
Okay. Every 24,000 years, okay, there's a cycle. So you have the 24,000 year cycle, and that's the 6,000 years of moon cycle and 6,000 years of sun cycle. And these are cyclical. It happens perpetually. It doesn't just like 24,000 years and that's it. It literally happens perpetually over and over and over. These cycles take place. We as Nagaru have been here time immemorial. We don't actually have a birth date record, okay, in the various different transformations that we've gone through. Because what I've tried to explain in other classes and other student teachers is that the look that we have now, the features that we have now, that's not how we looked 10,000 years ago or 50,000 years ago, yeah, or a million years ago. We were aquatic looking. Yeah, we had more aquatic features. We had scales. We had gills.
Not reptilians.
Look, exactly, the human reptile. That's what we were. We still are human reptiles.
Yeah,
so
I saw a movie like that, you know, where there was people living under the sea.
Yeah.
But they were affected by the land people.
Okay. I think I'm familiar with that. But so what's to your answer to your question is that as we went through the cycles, the potency of 9 ether started to get weaker. Yeah, because 6 ether and 9 ether are adverse to each other. So 6 ether rules at one stage, and that was the last moon cycle. Yeah, you understand? So this, because of those cycles, as it came in, the forces of Leviathan is this twisted, contorted energy, spiritual force. And what it does is it reverts everything. It flips everything upside down.
All right, yes.
Do you understand? Yeah. So the spiritual forces of Leviathan were sent out into the atmosphere, into human beings, etc., into animals. So 9 ether gave way for 6 ether to rule. So when 6 ether rules, there's also a visible and a physical representation of 6 ether. So the Phoenicians, yeah, the Dravidians, any being, animals, carnivorous animals, all of these things are manifestation of 6 ether. Yeah, because it's the Hindu with the straight hair.
Oh, straight hair,
yeah, and dark skin. So if we go back to the original explanation that the master explained about 9 ether, when 9 ether as all gases and energy composed, when 9-ether slows its vibration and manifests in this realm, the visible representation of 9-ether is your Pataites, who are very dark skinned, very tight woolly hair. That's a visible manifestation of Pataites through our evolution. Okay, so we're known as evolutionary Tataites from the waters. Do you follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far.
And then as time went on, the process is that we started to the potency in our DNA, it started to get weaker. So a birth has to take place. Another physical representation takes place. Just what I'm saying. And that was the birth of 6-ether.
All right, okay. So
You understand? So we gave birth to from 9-ether to 6-ether, and then from 6-ether to ghost station. That's the cycles.
Station?
Ghost station. That's your
Ghost station.
ghost. Your
Ghost
ghost.
station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost station. No, ghost and station. I know. It's ghost station. That's the name of it. So that's gave birth to the pale race, as it were, or the Caucasian race. That was the last 6,000 years. That was the birth of Canaan. Okay, he was born an albino, and from him, it allowed through his children, it allows 6-ether forces to incarnate into this realm. Because it goes all the way back to again to tones, vibration, and frequency. You see, the need of the resonance has to be correct. The frequency has to be correct. The DNA has to be compatible in order for beings to be birthed. Okay, so now when this cycle took place, the spell was enforced. Okay, and it got enforced and it got stronger in the atmosphere because now we were no longer thinking in our 9-ether mind, we're now thinking in the 6-ether mind because it's a gaseous force. And those gases you breathe in. We actually breathe those gases in. Let me try and find
you see, is that going to be an eternal process from 9 to 6 and 6
yeah,
to
it's
9?
literally perpetual because they're averse to each other. 6 and 9, if you look at the numbers,
Right.
they're just an inverse of each other. You understand? So
Because in Abrahamic religions, they say that once we get beyond a certain level, we'll be in the kingdom of heaven.
yeah, their kingdom of heaven, it'll be in their kingdom of heaven where they will be, we will be subjected to them. This is their kingdom of heaven right now. Think about it. Their kingdom of heaven, we are subjects to them because most of us are doing what they require us to do. We're feeding them. We're feeding their forces, their energies. You know, with even just the simple names that we call each other. Back to the topic in class, the names that we call each other, not unbeknown to us, because the spell was enforced to make us think we should take on the names of our slave masters. Do you get what I'm saying? Smith, Johnson, Robertson, etc., etc. Yeah, and then we like I said, we started with the exotic names that we give each other, and these are tones and vibrations. So you're actually it might manifest in more 6-ether forces into the atmosphere. Has no link at all. You're literally cut off from your connection with your ancestors by giving these strange names. So there's no one that's actually helping us within families constructs or family structures when we have names that have no correlation to who we are as a people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's better for us to slowly, even if it's not a Nuwapian name as such, and you don't feel comfortable, you can always find a name that is from your country that you may resonate with. You may, for instance, where you from? You're from Nigeria. You get what I'm saying? So you still practice that. Wu Sabat doesn't dismiss other cultures that people have been living. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. It says embrace Wu Sabat because that's the ultimate culture that we're supposed to be working towards. But there's always elements of it in other cultures. You go to the Ghana, you go to the Nigeria, you go to Senegal, you go to all these different places. There are elements of the original culture. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And the names are there, like, naming ceremonies and birth ceremonies. These are all there. Naming the child after the mother's side, for instance, that's all there. But it's weak, so it's in a weakened state because of the cycle that we're in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes,
I was
Amata.
gonna ask, what if you're from a culture that is
Sorry, could you use the mic, Amata? Sorry, another one.
I have to stand up, okay. I was gonna say, what if you're from a culture that has been like mostly colonized, where you don't have that original name, like the tones of your name are mostly from the Caucasoids or Caucasians.
Tua, and this is one of the reasons why it's very important if you are under a colonization or colonized country to learn to embrace your culture and learn to choose a name that more readily identifies with who you are.
Within your original culture or from another culture?
If it's from another culture, for instance, you may find out that you're linked to Gambia, for instance, because you may resonate with that energy, the Gambian, tradition, the Gambian culture. Because some people just literally find a culture that they kind of like resonate with. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's somewhere in Africa and they're like, yeah, I love to go to Ghana. Ghana feels like me home. So they pick a name from there. Do you know what I'm saying? They go to Gambia and they may think, oh, that's a nice place. And they resonate with that. So they may pick a name from there. But the transition is that you're dropping your European or colonizer's name. Do you know what I'm saying? And embracing something that is more closer to home, closer to who you are. And Wu Sabat, obviously, we provide that and explain that names are very important in this day and time.
Okay, sorry.
Is that helping you?
Yes, it does. But I have another question to add to that.
Yeah,
right?
Go ahead.
So, because I get what you mean when you say, like, if you resonate with like Ghanaian culture or Nigerian culture or whatever.
Yeah.
But what if you take a name from that culture, right, and your family that is within your original culture doesn't accept you anymore because you're moving away from what they know.
What they know, yeah. And that goes back to what the brother was saying about that the change and the sacrifices. Because you're in an environment where it's a strange thing to adopt something else, because of all you've known is this religion and this way of life, and then introducing it in a way where you become the enemy. Do you know what I mean? You become the black sheep of the family. You become this person that's, what do you mean tradition? Look, our tradition is we name this after this and after this. And now why are you changing it? It's a difficult situation to be in, but you have to show them the beneficial aspects that it has in your life and how it benefits you and how it makes you feel. Do you understand? When you start to do that and you start to live the culture, seriously live it, there's only going to come an aspect of respect. If you take it for a joke where, oh, you're just calling yourself this, but you're not actually doing anything to do with your culture, it's like, well, they're not taking you seriously. You know what I'm saying? They see this sister or our daughter or our granddaughter, and then says she's this, but then every other aspect of her is not that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just about introducing them, not trying to force them, slowly introduce. Oh, have you seen, this is what I like to add to my name, and eventually drop it. I found this, and then I really like this name that I want to add to my other name. And eventually you start to drop it. Yeah, you start dropping the others, and this is what you do. So that they get familiar with it. It's all about being familiar with something.
Starting off slow.
Yeah, starting off slow, yeah. Because I remember when I first came, into Wu Sabat, at that time I was Nubian Islamic Hebrews. It was in that transition. And I took on the name Malik. So we took what is called a shahada at the time, which means bearing witness. And when you come home and say, right, Mom, my name's now Malik, because it's close to Michael anyway. So she could kind of like deal with that, but she couldn't still stop thinking that was a cult that I was in. You with me? And I've told many people this story, but when she eventually started reading the books, etc., she started to realize this is not a cult. This is actually talking about us, who we are. And then you start to kind of like show your relatives through your actions for them to start to embrace this new transition that you're making. You see what I'm saying? But if you're still rocking the same mentality, your mental state only manifests your behavior. You understand? So it's when they see you wearing your Sabian traditional as a female, and then speaking a language and really acting like you're serious about it, then you start eventually hearing people saying, "Oh, sister, whatever," they start calling you by that name. It's uncomfortable at first for them because it's new, but eventually they'll start, getting used to it. Yeah, and I have to respect that as well. It's about respecting who you are. Okay? Yes, my brother.
You have a question? No, you go ahead because you have the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, she got the mic.
So my question is when we are born, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our parents come together and they give us a bunch of different names.
Mm-hmm.
And we are like only one individual.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they give us like 2 or 3 different names? Can you explain that for me?
Depending on what culture you're from, or even what family you're from, because whether it's either diaspora or from anywhere in the African continent, just like the octaves, you with me? Like you can have, for instance, my full title or tone is Usier Ka'a Reye. You with me? I'm also, by my Ghanaian culture, Kwabena. This what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm going by many other tones. Right?
Because you're only one person, so like.
Right. So now what's happening is, if I give me as an example, then you probably get more understanding. So Kwabena is the spirit of Abena, that essence of that spirit that is linked to me and ancestrally. Then you have, I'm also known as Ni Atukwe, and that's my relative's name that's linked to me. Do you understand? And I'm also known by Useka Reye. So these appellations of my names is that I'm invoking those ancestors every time I call on them or when people call me. They're actually linked to me etherically. Does that make sense?
Those the 30 spirits you can.
Those 30 spirits that you have are relatives that their names, if they're linked to you, as I think we'll go back to, if I read it again, go back to Renan Kum. I think it's here, isn't it? So as you say here, they had birth names, given names, slang names. Let's go back a bit. Right, remember, so it said, verse 75 says, sound gets inside your being and body to your body whose name is Tom, says, did you call me? Yeah? So now they're reacting and they'll move to you. So that's what these spirit forces do.
Okay, but like there are many different persons, so it's like you're calling that person, and that other person thinking it's them. So what is the other person name? Tom is actually not that other person.
No,
name.
it's just you're thinking of just persons. This is a tone and a frequency that's linked to all of the notes. Remember we were talking about the C note? Anytime you call a note or play a sound or note, it only resonates with the next octave, that same C note. So all the Toms, Johns, whoever you call who have that tone will respond in the physical and also in the spiritual realm. Are you following? Yeah. And then they will be either compelled to walk to you, or if you're in a particular state of emotion, they can enter you, because your body is a what you call it? It's a
vessel.
Thank you. Your body is a vessel. Your body is like a temple, okay, where when you go into a temple, right? You have to take off your shoes, etc., etc. It's pure, it's sanctified. So these beings, depending on your mental state or your vibration, they can enter you and enter into your temple, enter into your vessel, and they can affect you. Do you follow? We've all chosen names or been given names. The master teacher, when we were going through Baba Tara Yanun, going through the school of the ancient Egyptian order, okay, this was the mystery schools where you'll be able to see by your energy what name he should give you. So some people who are going through that school, the school at the moment is closed due to what's happening with our master teacher. But it'll be reactivated once he comes out. So at the moment, it's not in activation. And what he'll do is he will look at you, or he will touch you, or he will see how your behavior is, and he'll name you accordingly. In this instance right now, if you are compelled or want to choose a name, they're named from, like I said, it's not a name as such. It's more of a title, or more of a and what's it called? What's the word he used? Attribute. Yeah, it's an attribute. So you got sisters who are known as Sahamtat. Your sisters known as Nuntat. Your sisters known as Amuntat. Your some sisters known as Shishat. Okay, so there's different attributes that you can take on. Or when you read what those attributes correlate to, for instance, somebody who likes to write, or somebody who likes justice, or somebody who loves beauty, or somebody who, you understand? You can actually choose that name based on that and then live according to it, or grow into it, or you may be that already. So it depends. You might choose a name that you might want to grow into and learn more of the aspects of that kind of that tone, or is a name where you just already like that. You're very creative, so you choose a name that's creative. Does that make sense? Okay. And eventually, as that tone resonates more and more with you, it also links in with your etheric being. And that's the portion, is the etheric being, because the etheric being has many aspects of information and knowledge that's encoded in it. And the more you exercise that etheric being, the more it becomes more powerful in this world. Okay? Does that make sense?
Like knowing the person inside you.
Exactly. That's the true you. That's the real you. Your etheric being is the real you. What you're seeing now are just components that are linked to the real you. Yeah?
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Well, you kind of answered the question.
Okay.
I've been going through recently trying to change my name, but I didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
Because I have this feeling that I need to, and I need to get a Nigerian passport.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of changing some of the names.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what the names are. But now that you're saying attributes, that sounds better.
Much better, yeah.
So, but how do I get access to the names with the attributes? Because I was trying to find them, but I couldn't find it.
So we do have a book in circulation that you had, the Egyptian name book, and in there we have one that I've loaned out to brothers and sisters. Do you know what I mean? And eventually it will come round, and you can look in there and see. Alternatively, you see the chance that you do with the names, the 99. You can also look at those attributes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and you can always choose from that and apply it to yourself as well. Okay, for the meantime. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
One day I was doing yoga.
Just one day? Sorry. Go on,
That's a test.
Yeah, that was
That's a test for a challenge. I know.
Just being cheeky, the elder.
No. Yeah, I take it as a challenge.
Yeah.
If my ego is too much.
Now I know you. We go back a little bit.
Yeah. One day I was doing yoga and I was on all fours, and I suddenly felt, well, I'm like a leopard. I think that's not who I am. So and I read somewhere that everybody has a spirit animal name. Or
yes, they
like
do.
That.
Yes, they do. We actually do have. See, when you say all encompasses animism and ontology. Ontology is the actual facts of things and how sciences work within nature, and animism is the acceptance and the realization of the manifestation of spirit or energy. So animal energy archetypes are actually in your DNA. For example, who here has said to somebody or has heard the term as sly as a fox? Ever heard that term before? Yeah. As crafty as a where? Yeah, or as crafty as a snake, or just I'm saying. You never heard that term? Yeah, there's
snake.
Yeah, he's a piece of snake. Yeah. But these are literally ways of describing somebody's nature. And it's because we have those natures in us. Or you can look at somebody and think, that person looks like a bird. That person looks like a, do you know what I mean? I won't use other names that might describe people, but they look like an animal when you look at them. It's because their animal features start to show through sometimes. So yes, you do have animal archetypes or spirit animals that are in you as well. You can actually even transform and hold that animal's energy for a short period. Yeah, and then you can actually transform back. But if you stay in too long, you actually get stuck in that position, in that animal's shape. Okay, so these are actual powers that we do have in us. Because what you're looking at here, this is what makes us supreme beings, because there's so much powers that we've lost. As Master explained in a recent update about the salamander and how when you're dealing with chromosomes have to be even. The salamander is an animal, when you study it, has the ability to grow back its limbs. Yeah? And you can actually get a book called The Electric Biofield, which shows you the scientists cut the tail of a salamander, and it literally looked at the electromagnetic field of the tail, and it grew back. Yeah. So what Panabab Avatar Yanun is explained to us now is that we have that DNA in us. Once we're activated, we were able to fly. You see, who's else? You're a bodybuilder, you know about this. You know, Arnie Schwarzenegger, when he done the wings, the lats, the latus dorsimus, yeah? The lats are actually your wings. Those are wings that you actually use to fly. They're called the latimus dorsi. Is that right? Yeah. Or just called lats. They actually call wings. That's the names they give them. You know, you got wings. Yeah. So when you do a certain pose, your lats literally flap out. Yeah. So these are actually telltale signs of our Aquarian or reptilian traits that we have in us. Yeah. You also have the ones, you know, when you're transitioning in the water, you have your gestational period. When you see a child in the womb of a mother, it looks like a reptile. When you see the sperm, it looks like a tadpole. Yeah. Look at these telltale signs. Is the acknowledgement that we were reptilian at one stage, because we swam in water, We, got ovulation, egg produced, and then the gamete, and then from that you have your fetus, and the fetus through its gestational period looks like a reptilian, because what you have to ask yourself is, how are we breathing in a sack of water for 9 months?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I know we got the oxygen by way of the mother's umbilical cord, but our lungs weren't active yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your lungs only kick in when you're born into this realm, and when you take that breath, that's when your lungs actually kicks in. But prior to then, what were you breathing? How were you breathing? Yeah, that's the oxygen, but how are you breathing? You're getting the oxygen, but how are you? Just like a fish. Remember, a fish draws in oxygen from the water, yeah, and then it passes it through its filters. It filters it through the bloodstream, and then, but it's the gills. Yeah, we had gills. Those are now called your tonsils. So your tonsils have now grown in, and every time you don't have, it gets inflamed. What do they call it? Tonsillitis. Yeah, and then they're quick to remove it out. But you're not supposed to actually remove. If anyone's done it here, it can be regrown back if you make the grade. The Natharu can regrow it.
So you're not supposed to take it out.
But you're not supposed to take it out because it's part of your actual buoyancy and breathing apparatus when you were in the water. Also, you had your spleen, your gallbladder, and your appendix. These were all parts, like the appendicitis. Yeah. They're quick to take it out. Yeah, your gallbladder. They're quick to. They just take everything. Like, oh, just take it out. Yeah, but these are actually elements of our evolution. Yeah, which they don't understand why it's there. They don't really know why these things are here. But it's because in your time when you're in the water, you use them for buoyancy, to actually glide in the water. That's what it was used for. So these are the parts of us that are still redundant and not being activated yet. But as time goes on and we learn our true selves, yeah, we are able to activate these things. It may not be in this cycle, but because the learning has now been coded in the DNA, the next generations afterwards that comes, when this land becomes water again, or this planet becomes water again, they'll be able to go back into aquatic waters. Just like how we left it, we can go back in. Yes.
So you said the Garu, before we had these features,
yeah,
we were first reptilians.
Yes, two.
So when it comes to like other people, like Caucasians, Indians, they have gallbladders as well.
Yeah, they still have the traits. They still have the traits of reptilians, yeah. It's just that
because they come from
exactly.
Okay,
exactly. And all races came from us. And so what they did was, when they took the original Nagaru, there was some of their DNA that they superimposed onto the gene of the African. You see what I'm saying? And obviously that became more dominant. So that dominant trait became the blonde hair, the blue eyes, the freckles, the light skin. You know what I'm saying? The lower melanin hues, because you have different types of melanin. You know what I mean? So all of these things were different genetic traits that was infused into the new being known as the Adamites. And prior to then, you had different other extraterrestrials that were growing, what they call the hominids, different hominids on the planet, the Neanderthal, the Cro-Magnon, the Australopithecus, all of these different hominids that were coming out from the Homo florensis, what's that one? Homo florensis. That will be your Dravidians, Asians.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So through the different evolutions, the root of that would be us. But what they've done is they've added bits and pieces of their own DNA. Yeah, and I always use the example of a car. You know what I mean? You always have the original model of a car, and then everybody else, Ford, name all the different types of makes of cars. There's always the core, the engine, the this, the that, how that works. And then everything else is then superimposed on the car, and then they call it a different brand. Yeah, but it's still the same, the core of it exactly is the engine and the wheels. So yeah, so that's what took place millions of years ago. All right. And so we have those traits still in us. Okay. And we're living in an aquarium. What you see as Earth is actually an aquarium, because when it gets like, especially when it's up in winter time, you get the mist, yeah, and the dew. These are actually an aquatic environment, and you can only do that when live in an aquatic environment, because if you didn't hydrate, what would happen to you? You pretty much die within 7 days. Yeah, you can live longer with food, but hydration, you need 7 days. Within 7 days, you would literally die. You go catatonic, you go crazy. Do you know what I mean? Because your body will scream out for water. So you're a water being. Okay. I'm just going to jump to this quickly. There's a question on a Black Book Part 2, one of the books that the Master released, explaining more about our origins. And it says, Atom Ray, why do you have so many Renanat names? Answer, verse 17. What many people don't know about Egyptian Afertiat pharaohs is that we all change our names many times and had one secret and sacred name in tones, 3 special and 5 other titles called royal names. 5 elements denoting their connection to the Natirat, which is Nataru, deities, their divine purpose and function. What do these royal names include? They include Haru. Yeah, so this is an example as well. If you wanted to apply any names to yourself, you can, if you feel, this is not an egotistical thing. If you feel you're of royal lineage, because some people do, yeah, the way they behave and the way they carry themselves, Haru is a name that links to the royal family. You know what I'm saying? Of the 3, the triad, Asar, Ashastak, and Haru. Those will be the triads.
The son of
Asaru. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. So Haru would be a royal name that links you to that. A name to link oneself to the noble or royal. So you can link yourself to that noble family if you strongly feel you are of that family. It's not by, it's by choice. This was done as the name was written in a sarek. The sarek was like a shenu cartouche, but it's just more elongated. Yeah, it's called a sarek. Would you like to see what sarek looks like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cartouche?
Yes, just by some more elongated one.
What is a cartouche? Oh, it's some kind of symbol. I mean.
Yeah, it's a symbol. Yeah, they
Oh, it's on the pyramids or something.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking for that. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see how some people, when they have daughters or sons, they would name their son Prince or their daughter Princess.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Say you're Sabian and you want to name your child Princess, but in Spatia. I think it's Yamartat or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would that be normal?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely normal. Yamata, yeah. You can say Princess Yamata, Yama. Definitely. Yeah. So you see the Sarek? Yeah, and you see who's standing on top of it? Yeah. You see Ha. That's the symbol of Horus, is the falcon. Okay. So you can see a better depiction here in petroglyph, this one here. Yeah, so you can see that, and that denotes royalty or of nobility. So, if you feel you're noble, so some people do carry themselves like that. Do you know what I mean? Naturally, they just carry themselves like they're royalty, and you're like, man, well, you think you're so special, yeah. But that's how they think. They think that way and they feel that way.
What is the attribute of royalty?
Nobility. Nobility is
royalty.
Royalty.
Yeah.
The attributes of royalty is more how you think and how you conduct yourself. You see what I'm saying? You conduct yourself with, there's the 3: quietness, dignity, and grace. Yeah? You're very humble. Do you understand? And there's certain principles that you advocate and live by. Yeah, that's royalty and nobility. While other people just may not see, not that they don't want to, but they may not see the higher aspects. And that's what 9 ether is. 9 ether is it's of a nobility. So when you're acting that, this is the reason why partner back, gets us to dress in a particular way. Just what I'm saying, and wear our headgear, etc. One, the headgear represents a culture. Every culture that is respected in society has a headgear to represent who they are. So that's why we have that as part of our royalty, royal garms. We also have this distinguishes us from others, but also it's an essence of nobility that we're giving off. Because if you understand exactly, I mentioned earlier about your rough stone, and that rough stone, you're carving it into a perfect stone.
So it's like you don't fit into any group, but you can move into a group.
That's right. But you're distinguished.
You're distinguished.
There you go.
But you move immediately.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
And I can't stay. It's not like I can stay. I can enhance it, but I can't stay there. So I'm not like a leader or anything.
Right.
It's just to enhance and move on.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I hear you. However, when we walk into a room, if there's all of us dressed, our females in their garb, our males in their garb, and we walked into a room, I kid you not, because we've already experienced this when we're propagating, I kid you not, people will stop and make way because they just see royalty. And that's what the master's getting us, because what you wear and what you do also causes the way how you think. It just something that literally just starts to happen. And you can even see this in uniforms, like police uniform or doctors, etc. When a uniform officer comes to you, you automatically think trust. The reason why you think trust, though, is a bit nefarious, because they show you on TV shows that the police are the good guys, the doctor's the good person, the people dressed in white are normally somebody that's good. So you're already conditioned in your mind's eye to think that, oh, they're helpful. But also royalty, black and gold, if you study black and gold, it actually diminishes power. That's what black and gold actually represents, power. So you're saying it without saying it. You see what I'm saying? And this is what the master teachers got us in these particular garbs. Okay?
What about the way you wear your hair?
The way you wear your hair? You can wear it braided. Some of us have it cut off. Yeah, but the most important thing is you have the migdal as a male. Have you ever seen Saken and brothers wearing it? Yeah, that's our signature. You see what I'm saying? Of our look.
Is it in the hair or just
the hair? So it's a hair that's you grow. Obviously, if you can't, if you can't grow it, you're not gonna go to the hair enhancement place and get done in. If you can't grow it, fine. However, that's the look that we represent as Musbatu. And the feminines, they have theirs on the side. So if you see, like, for instance, Bastat, she sometimes will wear hairs on the side with the thing, with the beads.
No, but I meant to ask, when I asked that question, because you guys were talking about royalty.
Sorry, could you just... Sorry, Nadum.
Yeah, oh jeez, I almost fall down.
Careful.
Sorry. But yeah, I was asking that because you guys were talking about royalty and how you wear your clothes and how it shapes how you think. So that's why I asked about hair. So the way you wear your hair, that will shape how you think as well then. Yeah, because obviously if you've got it all crazy looking, just what I'm saying, not saying that anyone that's got their hair unkempt, if you keep it, if you have like a natural, what they call an afro, if you have a natural growing, and it's kept neat and it's clean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you keep it down and it's braided, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's kept neat. We as Musbatu, male and female, are supposed to be neat from top to toe. You know what I'm saying? How we represent ourselves, how we correlate ourselves. These are things that represent nobility and royalty. So if you're about that and if you're growing into that, we're not saying that we're better than anybody. This is not what we're saying. We're saying that we have a certain standard that Nine Ether carries through us. And those standards is represented by how we convey ourselves, how we conduct ourselves in society. Because then people will know you don't mess with these people because they're a certain way. Do
you know what I mean? You respect these people because they're a certain way, and that's how we carry ourselves.
Okay. Speaking about okay. Speaking about needs, right? So we don't only carry ourselves as in like uniform form only, right? Does it apply to your home?
Everywhere, that's right. Everything that you live as Wu Sabat, it has to resonate everywhere around you. Your home, your life, it reflects everything. Your mental state reflects your environment. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a work in progress until you perfect it. We are the first or second generation that are living this culture. But we have to set a precedence for our children so that they know what they're entering into. We say this a lot, that if we have nothing to give to our children, yeah, they're just going to go back into the world, into the society that is making them kill themselves and disrespect their parents and all that kind of stuff. So we have to set the precedence. And the way to do that is what Partner Babi Yanun has given to us. You know what I'm saying? By way of Wu Sabat, yeah, and Wu Nuwapu. So Nuwapu enriches those things that we have forgotten for a very long time. You know, how to live as nobility. Okay, and it doesn't apply to not everyone's going to accept this way of life. You know what I'm saying? But those who do, this is what you live up to. Okay. Yes, Mugdal. One Mugdal, and then there's the Malta. Yeah.
We're talking about the tail, as I might call it.
It's called Mijdal. Mijdal, yeah. Not a tail. That sounds more like a rat when you say that. Mijdal.
In that movie, what was it? Coming to America.
Okay. Yes, Eddie Murphy.
He had a tail.
That's right.
But the first thing that happens is
cut it.
Hairdressing cut off.
Yeah. What
does that mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know what it would represent from that, but he didn't. He wanted it cut off. What you can look at that as an interpretation of he's disrespected or wants to leave his culture. You see what I'm saying? Because now he's in the West, and what the West does is it enforces a certain lifestyle. You see, and that's why we are in certain clothes now. We're not in our natural cultural clothes. We're in the Western clothes. I mean, we're thinking Western. We're behaving Western. You know, so it's a gradual process. It's a gradual process.
Yes, some people were saying that the one he in that movie, the girl he was interested in, she said you have a certain what would you call it? Anyway, something of nobility.
Yeah, exactly. He had an air. He had an air. Yeah, he had an air and a posture. That's right. Exactly. But these are things that, like for instance, what you have to remember, if you're not aware, is that the place or the origin of our essence or of our journey from the stars is from the Orion and Sirius star constellation. Yeah. So the beings that lived there, that's how they carry themselves. And when they came here, they set up the culture today known as the Egyptian culture. And so they lived a particular way, they behaved a particular way, they acted a particular way, they ate a particular way, etc. And they endowed those in their children. But as time has gone on, their children have been, stolen, taken from their lands, brought and made to, like you asked about how did this spell get cast? This is the ways that they cast the spell. They made us forget who we are. And those who are beginning to remember who they are now acting the part that they're supposed to in life.
Do we eat with utensils or?
No, we eat with our hands.
The hands.
Yeah. Do you know why the knife and fork was used, or the utensils okay, when they were diseased, as in the Mukasu, yeah, they were given utensils because putting things in your mouth with a diseased body is that you're transferring.
Right.
You're transferring, bacteria, etc., back into your system. So the extension of the hand was the knife and fork, so that they wouldn't keep ingesting the diseases, etc. Exactly. But we know in our culture that you wash your hands and you eat with 3 hands, except 3 fingers. Then the symbolic in the 3 fingers. most people would have been doing that, in natural cultures, back home in Africa. Yeah.
Today, I forgot my utensils.
So you had to go deep. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how we used to. We never used.
First time I've done that.
Yeah, it was invented. It was created for them.
Right, that's what's interesting. Yeah.
Let me just read this because I'm mindful of the time. So Haru, the Sarek was like a Shinu cartouche, but with a symbol of the royal deity. In this case, a falcon or hawk topped the Sarek with the symbol of Haru, Horus. This was the way of the Egyptians as Nubians, and the blood seed as well as descendants of the ancient Egyptians today. You have this right, just as Muslims call themselves Muhammad, Khan or Sharif to link to his noble family, or Al-Mahdi. This is how we did things. Nepti, the throne name or office of master, title. Aferti, Pharaoh, Rabboni, Imam, Reverend, the name or title of his or her leadership. Wab, holy priest or priest of ceremonies and rituals, teachers of the mysteries. Semu, funeral priest, protectors of the dead. Originally, the priests of Anubu, guides of the spirit, were links between the living and the dead, or that vizier. Natir, deity name, golden name depicting the royal person as the gold of the Nataru gods, the earthly manifestation of the divine ones. Ila Mutajasida, Avatara. So now when we say Baba Avatara Yanun, you now understand that that's the divine incarnation or manifestation of God in flesh. Okay? And their beloved names like Reye, Hatap or Hotep, Bes or Bas or Asashtat. They will take on names of Egyptian deities, just as you say Abdullah, Christian. They link to your God or incarnation of deity. Nisut, bit, name or title prefaced by 2 names, meaning this a ruler out of the north or the south, bit out of the Nisut, north, raising out of the east. Sa. So these are, I'm just giving an example of what you can add as an extension of your name, yeah? Sa, son of birth, name. This is his or her actual birth name given by their earthly parents, like York, Williams, or Jackson. This is your bloodline name. So all Egyptians had many names, which called many name changes. Think first, you are a pupil, then a student, then a teacher, then a professor, then an employer, then a boss. All of these are change in titles and names. And the other 3 names are how they're received. As example are all the same persons, just how each language translates the same name. And the final and 9th name is called by the ancient Egyptian the sacred name, the big name, or the hidden name of power in tone, because it contains the secret tone to the essence of the person. That's the crux. That's the main part. Because if they know your secret name, the moment you're called upon in that realm, you're compelled to respond once they know your secret name. There's a story of how Isis, they call it in Greek, wanted to know the secret name of Ra. And she poisoned him to the point where Ra couldn't take it no more and he had to divulge the secret name. The symbolic story of her trying to control his Ka'a or his Achach, his etheric being. Okay?
So it's better not to.
It's better not to.
Know it until you're strong.
Exactly. Because with that name allows you to propel into the higher realms. You know what I'm saying? And into the 9th realm where the guardians reside. So it's all about, you got different, as an example is given here, you can have pet names, you know what I mean? You can have names that people call you, titles, etc. But your true name, you keep that sacred.
I like the idea of attributes.
Yeah, so the essence of the being or person that opens the door that makes it irresistible to respond. The name used in Pa Hanuman, the movement to invoke the help or aid of these deities. By 6 ether forces, beg your pardon. First question, how were we fooled in the past? That goes to your question. Yeah.
How were we? What?
How were we fooled in the past?
Oh, yes, sir.
In the old world religion of the moon god Sin, given to you by 6 ether forces, negative spirit forces of sympathy, pity, apathy, jealousy, discontentment, the laws of self-defeat and inferiority complexes. You see, before 1999, you worship spooks, spirits, and ghosts. In turn for your soul, they promise you grace, which in the Hebrew Old Testament, Genesis chapter 6, verse 8, is chen, favor, not forgiveness for your sins. Yet in the New Testament, John 1:17, it has the word charis, joy. That's fund, not forgiveness for your sins. Question, what are your promises? Favor and joy, two things the wealthy people get right here on earth. Not forgiveness, which in Hebrew, in the book of Psalm 103, verse 4, the word is silecho, forgive. Or in the New Testament, the book of Colossians 1:14, the word in Greek is aphesis, remission, forgiveness. How were we fooled in the past? Sorry for that. Isn't grace salvation? No, your grace is not your salvation. Genesis 44:18, which in the Torah or Old Testament is Yeshua in Hebrew, and in the New Testament Greek, sotaria, salvation. So black people, you're being fooled. The devil has you worshiping ghost, Hebrew, kova, Genesis 25:8, and Greek, neoma, ghost, spirit, Matthew 3:16. Read their Bible or Quran and see they have you under a spell, a ghost spell, as you're already aware. Any questions? Is there any questions on Zoom or Clubhouse? Oh, we've got 5 hand views up. Sorry, let me get to right. Rita, you have a question?
Yes. I wanted to know with regards to the name, if a name is changed based on an attribute, but it's not tied to, at least part of it is not tied to ancient Egyptian culture, but it's more of a state of being. Is there a hindrance in this spiritual journey? I know that you said that the ancient Egyptians have had many names, but if this is a name for the moment, a moment in time based on where you're at, is that a hindrance?
That's not wrong. That's not hindrance. It's really the transition is moving away from these European colonized frequencies. That's what it is. We're literally making the transition. So as you move more and more further away, as we were reading earlier, it's all about tones, vibration, and frequency. So the tones and vibration frequency is linking into something more natural. Whatever name you decide to choose or title or attribute, just research where its origin is from. Because most of the time you have to find out what the root of it is.
Yes.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, and yeah, no, I totally understand. I also wanted to know if do the behaviors of someone you're named after affect you individually? If they were disagreeable or agreeable, does that,
most definitely. Again, back to the reading where it says they can enter, or remember, you're invoking them.
Yes.
So if you're invoking them, they're in your essence. They're connected to your etheric being. Okay. The master explained that your etheric being, imagine you have dimensions of you, okay? And a bit like a lock and key mechanism. Anytime a name is called or you gain an attribute, it's like a lock and key attaches itself to your being. Yeah, and it diffuses itself into you, and it becomes a part of you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it absolutely makes sense. So yeah, because I know that if a person is, well, say, several people from different cultures may share the same name, such as my name, for instance. But if the intention was to name me after someone who wasn't kind or was kind, that will all be a part of my
Yeah,
spiritual being then.
exactly. That's the it's the essence, the name, the intention, the vibration, all of that has a part to play. All of that has a part. The attributes, yeah, is all has a part to play. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, because you understand your parents may have really great intentions.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
if it's I guess despite their intentions, if the name still has a resonance of something, negative or whatnot, it still has effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately so. But yeah, that's the reality that we have to live with. Sheldon?
Well, I just had one last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Essentially, like when your tonsils or your appendix or something has been removed, and of course, my tonsils were removed as a child. I remember the doctor. I remember the day, and I was probably like 4 or 5.
Just get back to that doctor and tell him you want them back. Just kidding.
Well, yeah, I mean, I often wonder what he did with the tonsils afterwards.
Okay. Interesting.
But,
what do
yes, but I was wondering if taking them out, does that affect or the etheric being in any way?
Not the etheric being, because you always have the etheric counterpart. This is the thing. See, energy cannot be destroyed. The physical aspect of the body can be rearranged and everything, but that is like a computer code. You have a computer code. There's always the source code.
Yes.
And that source code is kind of like protected. You see what I'm saying? It's ring fenced. However, that source code, it gives there's other codes that are built on top of it, and it's those building blocks, which is the DNA, which are the building blocks of life, that gets affected. But if you're able to protect that source code, and this is why Wu Sabat is a protection, because practicing Wapu and Wu Sabat, the culture, it's not just on the physical level, it's also on the etheric level. You see what I'm saying? So you're protecting your being by doing all of these practices. You see, and so the morphic field that this is grown from is that the morphic field, as long as that is kept intact, it can be regrown.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It can be regrown, and you have the ability to. It may not be, like I said before, it might not be in your generation, but as the practices that you do today is what will then affect the future. So if you're applying the things that you're doing today into your everyday life, and even to the point where your mental thoughts, because when your mental thoughts are gone into the morphic field, you're creating a reality in that field. And by the time children are born, and it doesn't have to be your child per se, it's that anyone who's linked into that race, is morphic field. Okay, yeah, Tauta, I see them up. Tauta. These races morphic field is also affected, and you can go and do some research on how mice, they do research, experiments on mice and animals, etc. But in particular, you find out that the Rupert Sheldrake is one of the authors who was one of the main pioneers of the morphic field science. And in there, he explained that every race, animal, etc., share a resonant soup of frequency known as a morphic field, where DNA and other thought forms produce physical traits or physical manifestation of things that happen on this realm. So when you go and study him, and you start to understand more about the morphic field and how it works. But so yeah, But yeah, in essence, Rita, it's literally that we can regrow our limbs once we know the formula, and once we're able to activate those hidden powers that we have, like the Mafkuzat and all of these things that we have in our DNA. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Tawatak.
Antakatira for Zamota Antat Atira for. Sheldon, and then we'll move to Dr. Munaza, and then to Hen 10. Sheldon, your question.
Sorry, I'm just in the kitchen. Sorry about that noise.
What are you cooking?
I got some coconut milk, some dark chocolate, and I'm trying to make coconut milk the vegan way, but I got dark chocolate, and I've just realized it's got egg in it. Nonetheless.
Okay, let's go. Give me what's your question?
In regards to the animals that we spoke about earlier on animal DNA, how would you know that you have animal DNA? Could it be you struggling to give up meat? Could that mean you're a bit carnivorous and you've got some reptilian in you, potentially? Would there be any other signs that could indicate that you have animal DNA?
When you say animal DNA, are you talking about like the porcine, the canine, and the different those kind of traits? You mean? Or you talking about animal DNA, as in reptilian DNA, etc.?
I'm not sure. Before you mentioned that part of your DNA may have some animal DNA in it, and it could be something as simple as someone looking like a bird.
Okay, no, it wasn't DNA. It was the archetypes, or it's like how can I put it? You have energy animism, right? When you're dealing with animism and you recognize that all things are connected to you, there's the spirit of animals, is the spirit energy of animals that you can take the form of, or they're in your energy as an etheric being. So you can actually not literally, how can I put it? You can trying to find the word.
Is it not archetype?
Yeah, it's an archetype. Yeah, that's the word. It's an archetype. Yeah, that's the word I use. Yeah. So the archetypical representation of that animal can manifest inside of you.
Attributes.
Yeah, it's an archetype. Yeah, the attributes. It's an archetype. Yeah, it's an archetype. Yeah.
The attributes.
So the archetypical. Go ahead. Have we lost you?
Oh no, I'm still here. I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah, go on, Sheldon. Yeah. So you said the archetypical.
The archetypical. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what I said. I'm just
okay. So you have the attributes, as the sister. I don't know what sister said it. So you have the attributes or traits of this animal, and then you also have the morphing. You'll morph into what that animal looks like, whether in your facial features, or you can actually take on the form of that animal. Do you see what I'm saying? So because it's linked into the etheric field of that animal. If you understood the formula of a lion, let's just say, and the composition of a lion, and you understood its morphic formula, you can actually take on that energy and transform into that for a period of time.
I'd imagine with high levels of aggression, and if you were to be a lion and wanting to chase something, maybe, I don't know.
or just hide in plain sight. You know, as an animal.
A lion poses.
Yeah, exactly. You pose like a lion, and people just walk past you and you don't even recognize. You know, an example of an old TV series is called Manimal. Look up the old TV series called Manimal. Yeah, Manimal. Like, he was a man. Funny enough, he was in Africa. He gets an injury and he has a blood transfusion. But the blood transfusion, if I can remember correctly, I might be wrong, was done by certain healers. And they gave him this particular potion, which when he then started to realize he could actually change into other animals. You with me? Snake, tiger, etc. But he could only hold the pose for a certain amount of time, and he was very exhausted when he came out of them. So this is just another way of these Mukasu telling our story in their own way. But we had the ability. And if you look at, when you watch Black Panther, you see elements of that, where he's in sync with the Panther, because that's the energies that the Panther resonates, is what he'll be linked to. Does that make sense?
It does. Quickly, okay. I got one more.
Mm-hmm.
When I stare into the mirror and I start to see my face change,
mm-hmm.
Is that my etheric being? And what's really going on when because it's a bit freaky, but at the same time.
No, it's the real being that will start to show itself through you.
So that's my real being, not my.
Well, it's not your real being, but it's going there. You're going there, because what I explain is that there's 6 processes taking place that the master explained. Is you looking in the mirror, the being looking back at you, and it goes into a whole process. There's actual breakdown, but I can't remember the full breakdown. But there's actually 6 or 7 processes that's taking place. And then the real being, when it does come out, is sometimes you may not be ready for it. Let's just put it that way.
How long am I standing in the mirror for that real being to come out?
It takes practice. It's just an overnight thing. It takes practice. So as you do it more gradually, bit by bit, which is what I'm saying. I mean, when I first did it, it happened with me, and so I bear witness that it's real.
So when you say come out, do you mean that they a physical being coming out the mirror is there?
No, your etheric being is pure energy.
Cool.
It's of a how the master explained it, it's like black fluid energy, and sometimes visually dark purple that will come out of you. Come out of you.
So it looks like a ghost is coming out the mirror, is what you're telling me.
It's not a ghost. It's etheric. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the master explained ether as moist. It's like a moist energy fluid.
And so this being that comes out, this etheric being, which has no eyes, by the way, from what I saw.
Etheric beings don't have, they're just energy, pure energy. Yeah.
Yeah. And what? That's going to come through and do what? We're just going to meditate.
Well, it's not do what? That's the real you.
Oh, I see. So that's
the etheric being is the real you.
Okay. So if someone else was in the room present, what would they see? They would just see me standing there.
Most likely, because they haven't attuned themselves to that frequency. What you're doing every time you're doing those practices, you're raising your vibrational frequency to the level where you're able to perceive these things. It's like an example is like if you buy a car, as a simple example, all of a sudden you start seeing the same car or similar car. When you before you never really saw that car. But now it's like it's magnified. You now see the car or somebody that you bought a pair of trainers, then you start seeing these pair of trainers everywhere. It's like it's magnified your senses. So that's what takes place.
Okay.
You get to the point where your magnification of your frequency is at a certain height that you start to perceive certain realities that were always there, but you just hadn't raised yourself to that frequency.
Okay, so no, yeah, that's everything. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And Dr. Munaza Abraham.
Rahubat. Thank you. Okay, so I initially had a question. I'm not sure if it was answered when I got knocked out or I accidentally exited the chat, but I was asking about the appendix and what the original purpose of that would have been, because I think if I recall correctly, like the tonsils and appendix, like they supported us in our when we are like vibrating and getting into certain tones and all of that, but I just wanted to hear what that original purpose was.
Oh, okay, right. So the original purpose of the appendix was buoyancy. So as you glided in the water, it offered buoyancy. So you'd be like, you see what I'm saying, in that kind of propelling motion in the water. Yeah, or you could just literally float in the water. So that's what it was doing. It gave you that buoyancy effect. Haptui Reye has put, this is called a reticular activating system of the brain. Oh, okay, he's answering something. Okay, yeah. So the appendix, it would be there initially as an organ that offered buoyancy or balance in the water as you're in the waters.
Talk. And I had two other questions related to names. So my name, Munaza, is considered like an Arabic name, like one who's independent, free, pure. It has different associations. But with I guess I'm wondering like how, well, I'm wondering whether it's a name that I would need to let go of. So I do have an AEO name.
Okay.
But so like, you know, I embrace all of my names, but I just wonder like whether it being Munaza being an Arabic name, whether it's one that I would need to disassociate with. But
it's not
that
a
particular name.
Yeah, you know, no, it's all right. Sorry to cut you, but you know when the partner about explain, and what I was explaining is that you have family names. So that's your family name. Then you also have your, as you say, your etheric or spiritual name that through AEO. So it's not necessarily that you kind of like just get rid of it, but you start using more of your etheric or AEO name. You start replacing that more and more. You can start using that more and more, and for that to get more, the frequency and the vibration to be more resonant in you, as opposed to the other one of Munaza. But when you look at the Munaza, if you do your deep research into Mu is one of. You have to look up, because remember, Arabic stole many things from ancient Egypt.
So I was going to ask about that because I see aspects of my name in our language, and like I see like, you know, Nazula in the chants like Nazula, meaning sent down or sent from, and you know, yes, like we mentioned with the Mu part, and so like I was just, because I feel connected to that name as well as my AEO name, and I just wasn't sure if I should be as connected, but you're saying one, acknowledge the family name, and also it has connections to the language anyway.
Exactly.
Tua. Yeah. And the last question is, I was given my AEO name, Ashtat Mafdat, as an adult, but it was after Doc had been kidnapped and incarcerated. And I was just curious, when names were given when AEO was still open, were those names still given by Doc directly, or was it through like student teachers and other folks who were helping him?
What you mean when he was incarcerated? How other people gain their tones? Is that what you're asking?
Through AEO, was it through another individual or through
it was by way of the ancient Egyptian order name book. You know, there was a name book that was released for AEO, and in that book you have a list of names from A to Z, and also titles and names, which a lot of people who have that book have obviously, like I've got that book, for instance, and I've lent it to a friend, or Moisar, so that they can also pick a name and choose a name. So that's what a lot of people were doing. But as I was saying earlier, if you can't get hold of the book, you can always use from the 99 attributes, you know what I'm saying, or you can look up other names of ancient Egyptian deities, etc., and then change the tone to reflect what the actual meaning is, or the actual correct tonation is. So these are things that you can do your own research on. Like as I was saying earlier, when the name that I have, for instance, Usir Ka'areye, I never knew that it was a king, a ruler in a certain dynasty. How it came to me was through a vision in my dream. So I'm saying I received it, and then I looked it up in the naming book, and I came across the name Usir. I was like, okay, so I chose that name. But then literally the other day, as I was reading about for this class, it's when I came across in a book that I was studying that he was one of the pharaohs of ancient Tamaray. You see what I'm saying? So it's things like that sometimes you get a correlation, or sometimes you get a revelation or something, or inspiration come to you, and then you're just guided.
But I guess my question was more specifically like who was giving the names. So like I received the name, the AAO name. It was assigned to me, so I was just curious on was it like a board of other individuals that Doc
Jamal,
had
if I may.
Yeah. If go ahead, second. Tautak.
Sure. Rahubat, Dr. Mananza. So just wanted to, I understand your question. Basically, when the master teacher was around, he was able to give the names directly, but he did have appoint other people, and what he was able to do is also through like when he got like images or pictures of the person, he could still relay that information and provide names. This is one of the ways that it was done through the appointed people, if that's answering your question. I know what Osir is saying is that other people have just picked their own names and have utilized the name book, but yeah, there were other people that were assigned, and he would be able to, like how, you know, you can use psychometry and clairvoyance and all that kind of stuff. He was able to read if a person had, you know, previously applied for AEO or applied for things with their name and their handwriting or just any information about them, that was also utilized to give out the names. If that helps, I yield.
Tautak, Jamal. Appreciate that.
Sawatak. Those are all my questions. I appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Tata Thira Fozamata. And Tahen, and then Jock, and I think we'll close if that's what permitted. Any questions in the audience? All right. Tahen 10.
Hey, Rahubat. Rahubat, appreciate the time. I had a question. I feel like I really already caught the download. I just listening to everything. But as far as like you say, the names, right? Realizing that, how much more so like if you have a tattoo of an individual, you know, how does that come together as far as the correlation or the relation to that individual? Like if you have the name of an, you know, just like you communicated, who said happened to be this person, so clearly you would resonate with that energy. So, you know, if you're getting a tattoo of, say, you know, Heru, right, and then what is that? How does that correlate? I guess spiritually, and why is that?
Yeah, because like I'm saying, it's some things are in the mind's eye. You know, is a mind's eye, and you get trickles of inspiration that comes to you. So if you follow that train of thought, and then you do, because most of the time, speaking for me as an individual, when I get an inspirational train of thought coming, I immediately start researching it because I want to know more about it. I want to understand it. I want to, you know, see the correlation, how it applies to me in my life, etc. So, you know, through inspiration, you're guided to, you know, do certain things, whether you get it as a tattoo or whether you want to write it down, you know, into words, etc., and then applying it to your daily life. But yeah, these are the things that happens, you know. So for you,
not to cut you, brother, but I was asking respect. I was asking more, so I wasn't communicating the way I was trying to say it. Was like, because you know, you read in the scrolls and everything that's more or less not necessarily forbidden, but like, you know, that's one of the things that say you shouldn't do, like get a tattoo, right? So
no. We never say it's not forbidden, but is strongly advised, because we don't forbid anybody to do anything. What the master does is he gives you knowledge, and you have to use your sound right reasoning that it makes sense and that is beneficial for you. So by way of you taking, you know, doing a tattoo on your body, you know, it's you're the one that affecting your body. Do you know what I'm saying? Your body reads everything. Remember, it absorbs everything and it reads, whether there's the ink, etc. So all of these aspects or things that you do to your being is all recorded. So you know, I can't say to you, you're wrong for doing that. you've done it.
But to answer my question kind of indirectly, and because I was asking like, how does it affect you doing something to your physiology? How does that affect you spiritually? And that more or less the reason why it was kind of suggested that you don't do that, because it will affect you.
That's right. Yeah, I strongly advise not to, and especially excessively. There's people that have tattoos, here and there, but when you go excessively, as you may see, like a lot of Mukasu have tattoo here, there, etc., have no meaning behind it. It just, to them is meaningful, but it's not cultural in the sense of relating to somebody that you may know or hold in high esteem. There's no basis for it. It was just because I just woke up one day and I wanted a tattoo. And it happens to us. We get, these inspirations or influences in our minds, and then we go and we go and act it out. So what I'm saying is that whatever you do, know that it affects you. That's the bottom line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Tawutak, I yield. I appreciate your time.
And for last one.
I just want to say one thing real quick to the sister though. The tonsils do grow back. They grow back. I yield.
Tawutak. And Joke, my boy, and then we have to close because it's getting late and people will go home. Rahubat, Joke.
Yeah, my question is regarding the names. Say, for instance, you have an African name, like from one of those cultures in Africa. Are you able to translate this name in the Sabbatean meaning? Like say my name is Job means like maybe a few different things, like an ancestor, a spirit, and also a God.
You wouldn't go necessarily change the name. You just overstand it in the principle of Wu Sabat. Do you see what I'm saying? And link it in. How does it correlate? Because Wu Sabat is animism and ontology. So how does it correlate with the spiritual aspect of what Wu Sabat is advocating? Do you see what I'm saying? Because this is still a name that is, or tone that's still of African origin. So it still has a link to your ancestral African spiritual forces. It's when you take on a name like John or Robert or Michael or Steve, you say these are European names and these are European frequencies or six ether forces. So you're still in link with your ancestors if you have that name. Antaka Theater 4. Well. Tauta Moisar once again for this amazing class. I hope you all took something away with you today. What is your true name? Wunuwapu helps you to understand. I hope you did understand. I hope you haven't gone away confused. And there's much more to unpack because I didn't even touch on other aspects as well, even further. But, we can cover in another class. Again, Tua.
Just a quick announcement.
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
The Brixton store.
Yep. Tawutak. Okay. So for those who are looking to come to Nashat, we also now have an extension in Brixton under the 29, is it Arcade? 29 Arcade, isn't it? I haven't got a full address, but we have a store now in Brixton. Okay, a unit in Brixton now that you can travel to and you can purchase your books, your oils, your incense, your herbs, and come down, support it, tell others about it, and also obviously support your stores because that's what we're building for the future. Okay, we'll be out there again every Saturday, and you can come and ask the brothers where exactly it is, and we can show you the way how to get there and what you can purchase from there. Anything else at the moment, Zamal, that I can think of? Nothing else is there.
No, Jamal.
Okay. Wawe. All right. Moisha Tawakum Lahe Pa Kayat. Okay, for the class this evening, and wish you well. Get home safely if you're traveling. Rest well, have a great weekend, and again, see you next week with another student teacher. And Wadu Moisa.